Yeah, and Alex and Christine, the cleanup actually continues at the lake. They got to clean out the lake if they want to reopen the park as they plan to sometime next month. Now, when you say 700 pounds of biological waste, that would mean like clothing and maybe mattresses that have some stain like blood or something like that. That's the kind of thing that was disposed of, but other things as well. 35 tons of trash left behind when the homeless were swept out of the park. It's a beautiful day at Echo Park, but the only ones on park grounds are sanitation workers continuing to clean up after the unhoused were forced to leave in late March. Over the last couple of years, the park had become a popular homeless encampment, complete with tents, makeshift kitchens, and more. The sweep to move people from the park came with protests and arrests, but the park was successfully cleared. The task of cleaning up what was left behind involved tagging and storing any personal belongings.
We process everything as if it were the individual's only possessions.
Then the Herculean task of collecting and disposing the rest, about 35 tons of trash that included 30 pounds of drug paraphernalia, and then this, urine.
I couldn't believe it. It's just terrifying and horrifying.
Sanitation workers removed 700 pounds of biological waste, including 180 pounds of feces and 564 pounds of urine.
Urine in bottles or buckets, human feces in some kind of a containment, a bag or a bucket. That gets disposed of through our contractor, Clean Harbors, who then processes it and manifests it and disposes of it legally and properly.
A spokesperson for Streetwatch LA, advocate group for the unhoused, calls those numbers a lie, then sent Fox 11 a lengthy statement that reads in part, they speak to the amount of urine and fecal matter discovered on site, but have never allowed people to have public, regularly accessible working restrooms. Echo Park resident Riley Montgomery's response?
The city provides restrooms across the various homeless encampments that are around here, but restrooms weren't necessarily the solution. The solution was it should have never been allowed to happen.
All right, to be fair, Riley Montgomery wants the exact same thing as Streetwatch LA. They were the ones that provided that statement to me. They want people to be housed. They don't want this to be a place where the homeless need to set up camp because they have nowhere else to go. Reporting live in Echo Park, I'm Susan Harris-Tuna. Back to you.
So, Susan, we think of these sweeps of homeless encampments. This was to repair the park. How's that going, and when does it reopen?
So the goal is to reopen the park sometime in June. And as I said before, they do have to clean out the lake. There was a lot of material that has sunk to the bottom of the lake. And of course, the health of the water is probably not what it's supposed to be. According to Riley, he has witnessed people dumping things into that lake. So you can just imagine if the sanitation department found all of that urine and feces in containers, there might be something similar in the lake itself. And they also have to restore the grass and make it pleasant again to be a park for families.
So what's to stop when it reopens in June, homeless all move back in, and all of this happens all over again?
Well, everybody, including the homeless advocates, Mitch O'Farrell's office, and the residents around here, they all agree that it's going to have to be a team effort to keep an eye on things and make sure that it doesn't become the situation that it became a couple of months ago. And of course, the pandemic sort of worsened things, as you can well imagine.
Yeah, it actually became like its own city there. All right, Susan, thank you very much.